computer. Okay, we're recording. All right. Welcome to the Vector Fox Valley Assistant Manager Summer 2018 Prep Call numero 5. That one's for you, Stieber, with your Spanish exam right now. So for all of you guys, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being on the call. The first 5 minutes, I want some updates, some hot news on recruiting and social media advertising, and just to talk about what's hot. There's a lot of hot stuff going on around the region. I want to see what's happening hot with us. So hot news on recruiting. So I'd love to hear what you've done to either like advertise on campus, to text friends, to send out 50 messages. So go ahead, everybody.
I just finished, so now I'm Appleton's. So sorry if you're getting numbers from me, that's why. And then added a bunch of people that didn't add me back from cross territory as well as Appleton's territory.
Perfect.
To start Facebook messaging for your guys' territory tomorrow. Or Friday, depending on which one, but I'm getting up early anyways tomorrow, so mine as well.
Yeah, you are. Summer's coming. Gotta get ready. Thank you, Morgan. I appreciate that. Who's next?
I'll go next. All right.
Okay.
So,
Careful.
I've been working a lot on brainstorming names because I necessarily I would much just my mentality about PRs is I would much rather get a bunch of my good friends to come and work. So I've just been trying to talk to them about the job as much as possible and actually get my good PRs to come because I don't know, I've had a really bad chain of PRs come so far in the job. And also I've been adding people on Facebook. I've gained, I believe, 100 friends in the past week. So one thing I do need to work on though is getting my messages sent out. And I know that's something that I need to start doing because I am guilty of not doing it, and I'm probably not the only one who's guilty of not doing it.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty and your update. Thank you, Hayden.
Yep.
Okay. Kaylee. Yeah, let's come up here. Give us some of your.
There's someone out there.
Oh, should I go get her?
Yeah, why don't you actually, you hop back in here in a moment. Josh.
Yeah.
Josh is.
Appleton honestly is so lonely without me.
Okay.
What do you
anyway, so I've gotten, I don't know if this is for everybody, but yesterday when I was doing my 50 messages, I didn't get a notification that said that I can't send any more. And it could be because I was messaging a lot of my closer friends, people I've had conversations with before. So depending on who it is you're messaging, I think you might be able to get more than 50 out a day. But just sticking to the 50 a day, that's definitely important and everything. But that's why I got done some advertising on UW Fox, and we got to SNC yesterday as well, so that was good.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we did. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, do you guys know how many minutes it takes to send out 50 messages? 12 minutes. We can do that. Everybody, every morning, just be part of your routine. I talked at Foxfly Tech about habit stacking. Anything you guys want to do that you're not in a habit of doing yet, just habit stack it. If you're used to eating breakfast every morning, but you want to send out 50 messages, just do it after breakfast or after brushing your teeth or something that you do on a regular basis. Just add something onto it. So if you want to get better at reading or, let's just say reading, and if you know you brush your teeth every single day, well, then go, okay, as soon as I brush my teeth, I'm going to read 10 pages every day. And then you create that habit. And then you stack another habit of 50 Facebook messages. You stack another habit of exercise. You stack these habits to something that's attached to what you're already going to do every day. So that's a little bonus tip, little life hack. Okay? Then Kaylee's helping out there. I want to recognize some people here. By the way, any other updates?
I added 1,100 people on Facebook.
Yep, and that was in one day? Yeah. Was Jesus on there? I don't know if he was. No, so added 1,100 people in one day. So great job, Alex. Appreciate that. That's great. By the way, wherever you're at, that's where you are. I do want to recognize, it is. It's I have some expectations that I want to talk about, but I also want to share with you guys how you guys are doing with some uploads. So Share screen. Here we go. Sharing the screen. Can you guys all see my screen? Shake your head, yeah? Can you say yeah? Okay, cool. All right. So on here we have, who do we have? We have, so Hayden, to go back to you. Hayden, so totally understandable. You guys want to get your top friends in to interview for this job, okay? Alex, can you close the door? Then even go say hi and help them. That'd be great. And close the door. Okay. So your top 25 to 100 list are people that you know really well, people who you are connected to, people who you think can do really, really well at this job. And those are the people who are in a three-way text and make it more personal, more like targeted towards you top people who are your friends that we for sure want to get in, especially when you guys see the Vector Fox Valley District PR prizes, and then also the Vegas trip coming up for the summer. So that is number one. Number two then is to get the word out to everybody who's your acquaintance. Send out a snap. I know today Josh sent out a snap of him cheesing him and I in front of the board that we had on campus about summer work, and hit us up if you're interested. But with that, it is for all your people who like you're not super close with, but who you're connected to. You can Facebook them, you can Instagram them, you can Snapchat DM them. That's real important, and that's like the second phase. The third phase, what you're building towards, which is the 50 Facebook messages a day towards just people you went to high school with, people that you're targeting, people you went to college with, and all of that. So that's something that needs to happen, and that's so important. I don't know if you guys understand, like this is going to make or break our offices. And especially at the event we had in Chicago, the 20th and 21st, like this is the deal the deal breaker. It's going to help our offices double and triple in business as opposed to be okay. And know that we want to work with your friends. You want to work with your friends. So some questions here. Do you guys want to help your friends out?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you want your friends to have a better opportunity than flipping burgers or folding clothes? For sure. Do you want to help friends make a ton of money? Yeah. Do you want to earn some PR prizes? Of course. Do you want to have a chance to win a trip to Vegas? For sure. Do you want to make more off the assistant manager pay? Well, yeah, PRs account for like 3/4 of the business, right? Through social media and PRs. Do you want to help your manager out? Of course. Do you guys want to build a championship team and hit your office's goals this year? Yeah. So if all the answers are yes, it is unacceptable to not be doing this. So make sure you guys are doing that. So a little recognition here. On the home screen. Oh no, is this slow? All right, so is this Morgan's? So Morgan here, Morgan has, let's see, we have 102 people. Way to go, Morgan. Give her a clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right. Hayden already. Hayden, you have a list here. Go, Hayden. There we go. It's your birthday. All right, 75. Way to go, Hayden. Let's give him a clap. 1, 2, 3. Way to go. Filkouski, who is a senior at Oshkosh and has done this for 4 years in a row, still giving tons of people. 31. I don't count. Sorry, Alex. 30. Okay. Come on now. And then 30 doesn't get a clap. 30 just gets, great job. Okay. Kennedy Kalmus, getting things going, 25, way to go, and leading the way. Look at this. Scrolling. This is anyone who's respectable. No one else has filled it out to at least 25, so shame on you. And really, that's unacceptable, so do it, please, ASAP. And actually, just kidding, a couple of you in Wausau have given Liz lists, I know, with Anna, Tekel, you had a bunch, so great job. And Liz, if you want to recognize anyone else, feel free. But holy haircut, Keaton. That's great. Okay, so Matt. Let's check out Matt here. He's got 104. Dude, way to go. Way to go. So let's give Matt a clap. 1, 2, 3. Good. And then Liz, any other recognition?
Yeah, Adlin has given me, I haven't finished transferring over, but I'm already over 132 people.
Wow, takes the lead, 132.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now on the list.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. So that's great. Also, moving on then, hot news with recruiting. We need to Facebook a lot of people. So there's a call on Sunday night. Unfortunately, since we're way behind on this, I need all of you guys on that. We'll share it on the group me. It's our normal branch manager, district manager call for the division that we want everyone on, because Amy from Chicagoland already has how many? Kaylee, do you know? Over 100. She had 90 as of like 2 days ago. 90 applications just from Facebook messaging. 90. Not messages sent, applications that are interested. Think about what that's going to result in, right? That's going to be pretty cool. So we need help, and I expect you guys on that. And then I want to recognize Kaylee, because she is the winner of the geo filter for graduations. What's cool, if you take a look, we have some geo filters. I'll just click on one of them here. You guys can see on your screen. Check it out. So we're going to have these. I spent a lot of money for all of these, and I'm going to spend a lot more to have them available for each graduation. But what's really cool, I click on one, here's Appleton North. We're going to have it available during their graduation that they can swipe and use as a filter. And then it says, you can't see it here very well, but it says vectorsummerwork.com loves ANHS, so Appleton North High School, class of 2018. So they can use that and then promote it on Snapchat, and all their friends see it. They're like, what's vectorsummerwork.com? Let me check it out. So every high school graduation is going to have that. So great idea from the Chicago division. Let's copy and make it great. Oh, really? Okay, well, Mike. Okay, Mike Gianetto. Thank you very much. Cool. Okay, and another recognition we have with this so far is got that. Oh, and then Friday. Oh, I need your guys' help. So I'm recording a professional video for our district on like a stump speech and what our office is all about, and like a really cool, I'm spending a lot of money, a professional video. If you guys want to be in it, which you're going to want to be in it, there are going to be some just filming of the general office and what's happening around the office. So if you guys want to be in that, just doing things, you won't really be talking at all, but he wants to get some film of actual stuff happening. So we can like pretend like we're having a meeting. We can be running an interview, whatever it is. That's between 12:30 and 1:30 tomorrow, or excuse me, 12:30 and 1:30 on Friday. So please mark your calendars if you're available. I'd love to have the office look packed and a lot of people here for the camera, because we're going to be using that for the thousands of people who come in for interviews over the next couple of years. So please do that. All right. So here we go. We're going to go over a few things here, and we have a lot to cover. Just got to give you a heads up. Today is not a bunch of high energy promotion of selling or building a big team. This is going to be nuts and bolts of managing people, and whether it's for a rep or whether it's for whether it's for a rep or whether it is for a future team, whether it's for coaching a sports team, whatever it is, it's so important to learn how to manage and coach people. This is going to be very important to take notes on. This is going to be very important to learn how to do, because our team, we're spending all this time, all this energy to bring all these great people on the team. If we don't manage them, if we don't help them sell a ton, like we're doing them a disservice. We're doing Cutco a disservice, doing yourselves a disservice. You know, again, this job is so awesome, but you know, what if the manager who coached you half-heartedly coached you, didn't answer your PDI calls, didn't PC you, didn't give you inspiration, right? You wouldn't be here probably. So that's why this is so important. The first person was going to be Alex on why rep sell, but he's helping out another rep right now. Number 2 is the vector metrics. So I'll go right into that. You guys have access to all of this. Where do you have access to all of these? In the Google Drive. I challenge you. I know none of you probably are doing this. There might be 1 or 2 of you who are tempted to be on Facebook or messing around right now, but this is important because this helps all of us make a lot more money, helps all of us encourage and inspire a lot more people, and helps us become better at managing people. So one of the important things I want to cover is the vector metrics, which is it's going to be on obviously the vector metrics of what happens, like what reality is. And then we're going to cover as many of these documents as possible. I'm going to have Alex talk about why rep sell. I'm going to talk about vector metrics. We're going to talk about the power of 5, talk about the PDI call. Morgan's going to talk about first weekend PDI, and then about I'll talk about the PC, and then accountability. And we'll give you guys some assignments. So again, be ready, have lots of water, because we're gonna go over a lot. Okay, so the vector metrics. All right, so vector metrics. Basically, this is good to know that this is what happens in the office. Can you guys see this okay? Is this big enough? Yeah? Good? Okay. So, training metrics. This is a... Can I zoom in?
Yeah.
Better?
Perfect.
Perfect. Thank you, Morgan. Okay. Vector metrics. These are all from the man himself, Drew Frank. So training metrics. So you want to work on a names list a long time. So training metrics. So why do reps sell a lot? Well, you have the training metrics of 45 minutes on a names list. Some new managers mess up on this, and then new reps, they'll have a small names list. And then what will happen is they'll think that's all they have to call, and they don't work on it again. Right? Kennedy, we just went over this with you, right? You had like a bunch in your names list, and then you forgot about them in your manual, and you had like how many people on there? A lot, like 30 or 40 or something like that. Like these reps, they're new, and they brainstorm, and you want to build it up as big as possible, remind them of it, and keep building, because you want to help them have a lot of people to choose from. They have a big first weekend. It's such an important activity in training. So if they get 100 names down, they can find 3/4 of the phone numbers. Then what's so important is there's 90 minutes of phone time. Now in our district, we run 2-day training. So there's going to be 90 minutes of phone time, which is basically an hour the first night and a half hour the following morning. They have 90 minutes of phone time. They're going to get 6 to 8 demos set. And that's what it's going to take. If they want to get 10 to 15 set that night, they'll have to book up time to do 2 to 3 hours of phoning. Then there's a 5-to-1 metric where we're promoting to reps all the time. Think back to your training. We talked about 5-to-1. So 5 demos, your best people, your first weekend, your top 5. Make sure you show your top people. Your best 2 on your first day to have a good result. Think about, if you guys go 0 for 2, how would you feel on the job? Do you feel very confident? Probably not. Probably not. And you probably feel like quitting, which is unfortunately some amazing people come through our doors, have a bad first demo or 2, and they think the whole job's going to be that way. That's why you'll see your manager sometimes reschedule demos on people and say, hey, you know what, Morgan, that's great, that demo, but your 28-year-old single brother, he's probably not going to buy Cuckoo. You may get lucky, but let's wait till at least after advanced training, make sure who's your next top person. Cool, go put them in there. So you really want to help them out, make sure their first demo is a guaranteed sale. If the first demo is a homemaker, they're pumped, right? Like Caesar, who just started 3 demos Sunday, his first demo was a homemaker. He's pumped, had another demo, had a sale for a few hundred, and then third demo was a homemaker, right? It's so cool because, and some of you, haven't even sold that many homemakers. So it's cool because you can have that start and then he's pumped. So go Caesar. And then 10 demos first weekend standard. If someone's really busy, that's okay, but we want to make sure we're helping our reps see success, see results, see progress. So if we promote 10 demos their first weekend, 10 scheduled means they'll complete 7 or 8. They're going to hit their first promo. If you guys complete 8 demos, you're probably going to hit $2,000, but most likely at least their first promo. Fast start standard is 2 demos a day. And that's a 3K average for PPR for their fast start. They have $400 of the prizes, couple promos, all that. So that's training metrics. Any questions on that? Okay. I know it's a little dry, but it is important to know so you understand what we're trying to do. So when your manager is having you PC some people or run a phone jam in training or coach a new rep, you know what the metrics are. So rep PPR metrics, this is next. So why reps sell, which Alex will be covering in a little bit. Go out there in a bit. Oh yeah, I'll talk about training and stuff. So yeah, we'll have to switch through in a moment. Okay, why reps sell? They feel good that people call, they have a plan, which Alex will cover in a bit. There's a $100 per demo average, meaning as a manager, so like Liz is going to be asking each day, hey, how many demos does your team have? And then in Web PDI, you'll be able to put it all in there and be able to see, okay, our team has 26 demos for the day. So if the team has 26 demos and that's $100 per demo, okay, that's going to be $2,600 that team sells. because if you look at 100 demos times 70% completion, 60% closing ratio, and then times 40 sales at 250, that's 10,000. So if your team has 100 demos lined up, that's where it goes big. Like the cool thing this summer, how quickly can your team have a 10K day? Okay, it took us till SC2 to do that last summer, but how cool would that be to have a 10K day of new business? All it takes is 100 demos. How do you do that? You have a lot of reps in the team. That's 100 reps doing 1 demo. It's 20 reps doing 5 demos. That's 10 reps doing 10 demos for that day. That's how that works. And then the triple doubling metric, which just understand that how much a rep sells in their career is doubled from what they do in their fast start. Their fast start is doubled from their first weekend. So if we help reps and we focus on their first weekend of $1,000 pop their first weekend, that means throughout their fast start, they'll sell $2,000. That means throughout their career, they'll sell $4,000 on average. And of course, someone like Anna, it's like $40,000 in like 4 months, bumps that up. And then some people that quit after 1 day bumps it down. So it all averages out to that. Then there's the 1 or 3 metric, letting them know, hey, if you're part-time with us, that's okay. 1 demo a day is on average is part-time, 7, which is 7 a week. 3 demos a day is full-time, 15 to 20 a week. So that's something to be aware of. So you just have the same language. When you're coaching a rep, it's important to use the same language as your manager because, you know, if the manager is saying, hey, even if you're part-time, that's fine, 7 demos a week, which, by the way, that's more than a lot of people in the fall and spring are doing. If they're doing 7 demos a week, they're going to be selling 1,000 a week. Not everyone on our team is selling 1,000 a week. So that's why we let people know, hey, even if you're part-time, 5 to 7 demos a week, they're still selling 1,000 a week. They're still happy. They're still hitting dirty 30 that summer and feeling very good. Full-time, if you're doing 15 to 20 demos a week, like even some of our CSPs or top people like Anna and Matthew here, I mean, when's the last time you guys legit completed 20 demos in a week? It's been a while. You guys are really good doing a lot of demos, but right? Like even 15 to 20 for you guys, it's like that's full-time work. That's a full job. Repetition and passion, basically following the manual and loving Cutco is huge. So that's why field training is so important. And that's why food cutting and training is so important. That's why seeing all the knives is so important. And just what you do in training really matters. Okay, next, 30% focus. Let them know the metric of 10K is tangible. By the way, for the year, new Hayden hitting 10K for the year. Congratulations, Hayden. Whoop, whoop. And Aslan hitting 10K in her career, getting the sweet hat. Way to go. Hopefully you got that. So congratulations, guys. Way to go. But 30% is so doable, and they can totally do that. You know, Alex Filkouski's right here. He did that in like his first week, you know? So 10K is so doable. And if everybody just sold 10K this summer, which is literally like 5 demos a week. You guys realize that? 5 demos a week. They're going to be selling like 750 to 1,000 a week. There's 16 weeks this summer. They're going to hit 10,000, make $2,000, which is more than the average student makes. Flipping burgers or folding clothes. So that's huge. And then knowing too that 6 to 7 demos equals 1,000, because that's just the way it breaks down. Another point we want to ask people, like this summer, we want to be asking them, hey, not, hey, are you phoning today? But hey, are you choosing the 10, 20, or 30 phone calls per day option? Okay, cool. If you do 10 phone calls a day, you're going to make times 5 days, 50 calls, 7 demos, you'll sell 1,000 a week. That's 10 grand throughout the summer. You make 20 calls, you're going to sell 20K. You make 5 grand. If you make 30 calls a day, just 5 days a week, that's 21 demos a week, 3K a week, 10 weeks, 30K, you make 9,200. Isn't that simple? Sometimes we complicate things, right? It's simple. Okay. This is a long document. All right. Office metrics. Okay. Big arm equals more CPO. Huh? Yeah. So Alex is going to take over here on why reps sell. Okay. And then so I can go and talk to these guys. And then actually, why don't you finish this? Okay. Well, here. Do why reps. Yeah. There's that one, and then there's why reps sell. So why don't you start with this one?
Okay.
So here we go. We're switching. Tag it in. Tag it in. Tag it in. Ready to go.
Hi, friends. All right. Why reps sell? So reps sell for 3 main reasons. You can see my screen, right? Like thumbs up or not. Okay, cool. So recognition and appreciation. So all of you have gotten this before, right? Where you sell a set or you have a really big day or a really big weekend. And then you get like a text from Jason or Liz or a call, or you get like a group me shout out. And obviously like that is kind of what helps like motivate, and it kind of helps. It makes you feel good, right? Even like when I get those still after like 3-4 years of being here, it still like feels good to get those. So reps will really appreciate that, and that will motivate them to sell more. It's called positive reinforcement. Okay, team meeting recognition. So team meetings are big because, well, A, we book a lot of demos with them because everybody's phoning, and B, because, again, it's like a fun environment where you get recognition, and reps really appreciate getting that. Like when you hit Dirty 30, right, and you get the hat at the team meeting, that's pretty cool. So reps really enjoy that, and again, it motivates them. And it also builds like a positive relationship with you and the rep that you are coaching or appreciating. Now, reps also sell because they have an abundance of people to call. So, by the way, I know all of you still have people that you know that you haven't shown Cutco to. So you need to like start making a new names list for the summer, because SC1 is going to come really quick, and all of you are going to be big pushers for that. So names list is huge. And then pushing a rep to like sell off of their chicken list. So I know that even when I started, I like sold a good amount of Cutco, but there was still a few people that I was afraid to call. And I know that even all of you have a story where you called that person. Like for me, it was my girlfriend's dad, and I called him and to do the appointment, and I was like really scared to call him, but then I called him and sold a homemaker on the appointment. So that's like, if I wouldn't have done that, then I wouldn't have had that $1,000 sale. So you need to just kind of like motivate a rep to call their chicken list, or you can even just like take their phone and have them point out someone they're scared of and just dial it and call them for them, and then hand them their phone back. So then it kind of like forces them to actually call that person. Okay, and then recommendations. I know the past couple of summers, the standard has been like anybody that starts before SC2 needs to have their recommendation approach memorized before SC2 starts. And that's just because like the better you are at asking for recommendations and like setting yourself up for that, then the more people the rep will have to call, and the longer that they'll stick around. Because if they start to think that they don't have anybody to call or do demos with, then they're just going to quit. And obviously, like we want reps to sell like at least $6,000 minimum before they're handing in a sample kit. Now, next is a plan. So reps will sell if they have a plan, because they'll have their schedule dialed in, right? And they'll know like when they're phoning, when they're doing fun stuff, and they'll just be less stressed because they have a good idea of what their schedule is going to look like. So this is something really important to go over in a PC, is like what their plan is for the week, or what they want like their ideal week to look like. And it might change every week depending what they have going on, or you might just keep it the same every week, especially as we're like finishing up school. And then also PCs are good to bring up like names lists and chicken lists and see if they're calling them in those PCs. Okay, so those are 3 reasons why reps sell. Can I get a question or two, please, from the peanut gallery? And
Sorry, I turned my video off because I was eating.
what's your question?
I guess I don't really have a question.
All right, well, think of one, because you already unmuted yourself and you're wasting our time if you don't ask.
How do you handle their like objections?
That's a very vague question, but I think I know where you're going with it. So I'll say, first of all, for objections on like I guess, are you talking about objections for like calling people
Like,
or like
yeah, like a lot of times,
style or what?
yeah, like when I call or text and it's like, oh, so are you gonna make some phone calls? Like, well, yeah, like, okay, when? I don't know. Like, they just don't have a set schedule, not just phoning, but like, so how many demos do you have set? Like 2. Okay, well, how many do you want to have? And then they're like, oh, I'd like to have 5. And I'm like, so what are you going to do about that? Like, I don't know.
Okay, so that goes back to motivation through recognition and appreciation. So say a rep tells you like, oh, I want 3 more demos for tomorrow. Well, then they probably have to make like at least 25, 30 calls, right? So so then you can just kind of like put that in like a group me or like post it publicly or like share it around the office if it's at a team meeting. Like, hey, Johnny needs 3 more demos. He's phoning at blank. Wish him luck or something, you know? That's one thing that you can do. Liz, what have you had success with?
I lost hearing you this year now, officially. I've been saying this about you all
Liz?
along, but there's different.
Yeah, what have you had success with?
Yeah, as far as objections go, that's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, really just confident in whatever you're asking them. I don't really get a ton of objections with people, but it's just coming from a place of understanding and just, yeah, I completely understand. Let's work this out. I don't know if that answered the question at all.
No, that's good. So she kind of does like a feel, felt, found. She's like, I understand how you feel. Maybe you're nervous to make those phone calls. And I'm sure you've felt that in the past, but as you found after like feeling that way, you made the phone calls and then you booked demos and you sold Cutco and you made money. So just like stop being a baby and make calls. Right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I guess we can move on from this then. I have to figure out how to switch. Okay. Did Jason go over PDI yet?
No, but I can go through that if you want.
Sounds good.
Okay. So if you haven't used Web PDI before, can you say I in the group?
I. That was Matt and
Harrison. Okay.
Oh, never mind. It was Kennedy and Matt.
Kennedy, Matt, Harrison. Are those the only 3 that have never used Web PDI?
No. Neither has Caesar.
What?
Neither has Caesar, but that's understandable.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
I've used it.
Well, for those of you that definitely never used it before, you're going to want to pay attention to this call. So, and whoever your manager is, they'll go over it with you on how to get you set up with Web PDI and all that jazz. But as soon as you get on and kind of get in the flow of things, you really want to stay organized. You're supposed to use the system to take great notes. So whether that's on how many demos they have, why they're selling, or any like kind of fun facts about them that could connect them to yourself or another team member, that's always really helpful. So like what university they go to and all that jazz. And you never want to blame, reprimand, show disappointment or critique over the phone. I think that's super, super important. Just because, well, as you probably already heard, communication is only 7% verbal and 93% nonverbal. So it's just better to have that in-person conversation. So attitude is everything. PDI objections is to make them feel good. And you want them to create actions after they're done. So kind of getting them excited and jazzed up. So first, for an incoming top rep, now this is their first weekend. So you want to focus. So if it's a big sale, small scale sale, or a no sale. So big sale, don't overreact. Congratulate them. Follow the guidelines. And big sales are normal. Small sales add up. They're just as important as big ones. And you can kind of focus on like the 5 pay and the their next promotion. And then a no sale, just kind of shrug it off, like no big deal. Get it out of the way. The biggest sales come after no sales, and just kind of focus on that next one. Like incoming low flyers. So let's say they're not like a top rep, then a big sale you're going to want to make a big deal about. You're going to get really excited, promote the achievement and contribution to the team. A small sale, you're going to still get excited, like awesome. Paint a picture of like how that small sale is adding up. So like 1 to 2 small sales a day equals 1,000 a week. And then a no sale, just kind of again say no big deal. Tell me about it, dig in, try to figure out reasons, like were they not dropping down, were they dropping down too fast. Check food cutting, how many foods they cut up, if they're actually reading the manual. And then the accountability. So if a rep isn't calling in, you want to re-explain like why there's importance of PDI. So it's great for like coaching, mentoring, motivation, teaching. Motivation motivates them to like help with like holding them accountable to their goals. So something that like how to reset PDI expectations, you can kind of say like, hey, I think you could be a really incredible rep. I really want to help you. Here's what I need. And then you can kind of go off that. I think you guys have a different document than I do. I have the one that's shown is a little different. The one I have is from Drew Frank. So if you want this one, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, you're doing good. Just keep going.
Okay, I like noticed that and was like, oh well. So some key questions that you want to ask, or some like focus areas that you want to have is, hey, like what food did you cut? Make sure you're focusing on like cutting 5 things. If it's just an apple and an orange, just ask like, oh, was that it? And then kind of give them a tip like, hey, maybe try this out or something like that. What do you feel like you're doing well at, or what do you need to work on? That's always really important questions. Make sure that they're following the manual, just because a lot of people don't do that. So, and it's such an easy thing to ask about. Recommendations, ask like how many did they get? Did they follow the script? Smile. Were they confident? Did they roll load their orders ASAP? So as soon as possible. Did they roll load their orders, or is it like waiting? Is it a problem order? And then another thing that Drew added in here was a PR promotion. So asking if any friends are coming in or who they've talked to. Just kind of keep it simple. Tell them to check it out. Connect. So I think the connection is a really important part, because if a rep doesn't connect with you, they won't want to share anything with you. So make sure you're recognizing their efforts and performances, not just their results. And then make sure that you're appreciating them as well, so they feel like an importance to the team. I think like establishing a connection is way more better than anything else, because it's really easy to quit a job but not a relationship. And make sure you're asking, are they having fun? Are you learning? Do you feel like you're getting better each time? Is it getting easier? And then the next bullet points, create excitement. So I was super, super competitive. And something that really motivated me that Jason found out was I always wanted to beat Lake. For some reason, that was my person, and I just needed to beat him. I really didn't care about anyone else, but he was a 10K fast starter. He took my number 1 position in January. So I was like, okay, I gotta beat him. So he'd always share hot news about like him, and then like some of the team and others from the training group. Make sure you're like promoting Cutco. So like Cutco rocks. See how easy is it to sell. You just made like $100. How many hours at a normal job does that take? Imagine when you're at 50%, you would have just made like 500. So just things like that, those types of quotes. Advanced training 1 is going to be awesome. You're going to learn blank. You're going to learn how to network through Facebook, call your referrals, whatever it is. And then always focus on what's next. So whether that's the next promotion, like, oh, you're going to hit your first promo this week. Oh, are you going big? You're almost at 3K. You're almost at 6K. Just maintain excitement because, again, 7% is verbal and 93% is nonverbal. So what they're hearing out of your voice is really all they got. And then create action. So this is probably the most important from like a demo standpoint. So make sure you're tying them into their own goals that they set up for themselves. So not your goals that you set up for them, but their goals that they want to hit. Because there's reasons behind that, and you should establish that in the connection. So it should be important to them to hit their demo goal anyways. Weekend is the best phone time, and then like encouraging the 5 calls before and 5 calls after. I know Anna did that, and I can't remember how many you booked up doing that one day. What was it, Anna?
I booked up 3 yesterday doing them before one of the demos.
So that was probably way worth it, right? Instead of coming into the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. So
yeah, I think I made about like 15 calls. So
yeah,
it was worth it.
That's awesome. That's a really good ratio. So kind of asking like how many more can we book up, focus on that 10 demo minimum assignment, and then contacts. So make sure that they're working on getting more names and numbers, not necessarily through referrals, but maybe still through like their initial names list. I don't know if any of you guys done the thought jogger before, but that's amazing. I come up with at least another 15 to 20 names and numbers whenever any manager does that. And then accountability. So just reiterate the Pdi expectations. So like, hey, Addie, just make sure you call me after your next demo. Or you can make 10 calls and then call me back. So something along those lines. That's kind of all I got for you for first weekend PDI for new representatives. What was next on the agenda?
It's the power of 5, but I have to find it.
Hey, I had a couple.
You had a question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, kind of. You're a little fuzzy.
Okay, sorry. I'm going to try to get better. Hang on. Okay, is that better?
So much better.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I have a couple of questions about PDI. When are you doing PDI?
You should do it in the morning.
In the morning? Okay. So I just want to make sure everyone's clear that like PDI isn't every single time you talk to your rep. Calling before and after your demos, that's not PDI. That's just checking in. You want to make sure PDI is done right away in the morning, especially during the summertime. Because you want to make sure they're starting their day off with a positive attitude, positive mentality. Everything Morgan said is great. Keeping that, energy up. I mean, let's be honest, guys. You guys are all college kids too. Are you getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning? No, not unless someone's calling you, right? So making sure that whatever your time frame is, depending on your district. My district, it's going to be between 7:30 and 9. End of story. And that's when I'll be starting our PDIs. And then, Morgan, how long should PDI usually take?
It kind of depends on how many representatives you have and I guess what you're talking about. But I would say around 45 to an hour.
For each PDI call?
Oh, no. Maybe I would say between 5 and 7 minutes.
Awesome. Yep. Perfect. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was a really good point that Liz brought up too. Does anyone else have any questions or comments they wanted to add? Okay, well, if you guys feel free, this is more of a discussion than like a lecture. So if you guys have anything that you'd like to say, add, comment on, just kind of like interrupt. And I think all of us would really respect and value your guys' opinion. So the power of 5. Is that you, Alex?
Yeah, sure. All right. So the power of 5. Okay, so the first part is the keys to first weekend success. So can somebody tell me why the first weekend is so important? Anybody?
It's the first taste of the job, the confidence-based confidence.
Can you speak louder?
That's their first taste of the job. Their confidence is formed on the first weekend.
Yeah, so Matthew said their confidence is formed on the first weekend. So the best reps will do the most on their first weekend because there is a direct correlation between the value that they do on their first weekend and what they do in their fast start. Okay? And then building off their fast start, there is a certain percentage that an average rep will do after, like if they do X in their fast start, they will do X percent more in total Cutco sales, right? So, but they don't do X in their fast start if they don't have a good first weekend for the most part, right? So best 5, so you'll see there that's like low flyers will be like they'll have their first 1 or 2 sales. Mid flyers will sell a set sale or two larger sales, and then high flyers will probably hit like 2-3K in their first weekend. And throughout training, you want to always be like talking about this because the like really sharp kids in your training class that want to be the high flyers, like if they hear like this is what a high flyer does, like you're kind of like making that a self-proclaimed prophecy for them to do. So like for me, the Christine in my training was like, if you want to be a 10K fast starter, you do this. So I literally would, whenever she said 10K fast starter, I would just listen to what she said after that. And that's all I did. And then like, you know, so that's what like a sharp rep is going to do. Like Lake, for example, I'm sure like you weren't like, oh, low flyer, that's cool. I'll do like 1 sale my first weekend, you know, like, so that's just how a sharp person will think. And so obviously like you want to focus on the high flyers, but like you don't hit your goals without the middle and low flyers too. So everybody's important. Now, day 2 PC is also very important. So their second day out of training, you have a PC with them. So it would be like managers, and then in our office, it'll mainly just be like Jason and Morgan, but it's still very important to know about. So day 2 PC is like, it's like going over what it's like going over what they're going to do in their like, or like what their goals are after training. And then day 3 of training, you kind of like reiterate what they went over on day 2 PC, if that makes sense. Okay. And then next best 5 is like you always want to be focused on your next best 5 recommendations or referrals or names lists or like whoever you're like trying to sell to or book appointments with. Okay, we kind of already talked about 5 before and 5 after. So I'll skip that for now. Crucial events. So advanced training 1. In advanced training 1, that's like with their training class from the weekend, right? And then what happens at advanced training 1 is they get recognized for what they've done already, build and rebuild confidence to them through like going over like role-playing things that they need help on, or like if they have like, if there's some reps that have like low average orders, like making sure that they like believe in the value of Cutco. And then you create a plan with them. So for the rest of their fast start, and you book 5, like they book 5 demos, or set the reps up to book those next 5 demos. Okay. First PC is where the manager will build the relationship work on their names list so that, again, they have a reason to sell, right? Create their fast start only plan. So that will just like correlate off of the plan that you made in advanced training 1 and kind of like go more in depth as they move through their fast start, and then get their next 5 demos again within the next day or so. Okay. Team meeting is where you like introduce the training class to the rest of the team, and kind of like, that's where like the higher reps will you'll like want to focus those reps on creating relationships with the new reps so that they feel like more tied in and show up next week. Because if they show up to the team meeting next week, then they're going to show up the following week, and then they're going to be there all summer, right? So that's why it's so important to tie them in right away. If you have like 1 or 2 reps that didn't make any connections at the team meeting, I promise you they won't be at the next team meeting and they will quit. Okay. Again, recognition is huge, and that just builds motivation to sell more. Have a phone jam with a competitive game, and like we always play games around here in this office. And then add value through Vector Connect talks or other professional development talks, or a talk from a high rep in your office, or maybe just a talk from you yourself. And then after the team meeting, so advanced training 2 is later in the week, and you'll like go over phoning script with them, right? And then that's where you start to say like, hey, you should be getting the script down now. You should be like pretty much knowing what you're saying. And then go back to their original names list and look at to see like, okay, who have you not shown to yet? Who do you still need to call? Who are you afraid to call? And then just kind of like either like manipulate them into telling you that they need to call their chicken list, or just like force them to do it, however you prefer. And then again, drive demos to get like 5 within the next day or so. Okay. Day 11 PC is going to be the PC after their fast start. So that's where you go over like, this is what you want in your fast start. This is what I really like to see. This is what I like saw in you but didn't really see in your fast start, and I like hope to see that in the future, right? So like you kind of like keep them like, oh shoot, like I can impress my manager more, like I can do more. And then again, you're like motivating them through that. And then yeah, just like if they're kicking ass through their fast start, then you just like tell them like keep chugging along, keep doing what you're doing, keep calling me, keep PDIing, keep phoning 5 before, 5 after, whatever it may be, just like all those best practices that we've talked about. And then if someone's not doing so well, then you'll want to go ahead and like go through like the habits that they have. Maybe they're only making like 5 calls a day, and they're only booking like 1 demo every other day or something. So obviously like they need to work on that. They need to make more calls, right? So you just kind of like figure out what they can change like just a little bit. Obviously not like trying to make like a 2K fast starter into like a 40K summer, right? Like, but it's just like a little bit, because then like if they take that next step a little bit, then after they make that step, then your next PC, you can get them up another step, right? And then just step by step, slowly but surely, then they're like a badass rep. And then, yeah, paint the picture for their week, paint the picture for their month, paint the picture for like moving into school. Always be like planning ahead for them and like putting ideas in their head, because like for me, like one of the main things that has like always kept me selling was like, oh, well, I need to save money to branch next summer. Oh, I need to like hit this number so I can be at like this level, right? So just always be painting pictures, not even just in PCs, but like even just in everyday conversation with them. And again, in every PC, you're always focusing on their next best 5 and then asking if they're doing 5 before or 5 after. Okay. Also, obviously, day 11 PC is a great time to ask for PRs, more PRs. Okay, 5 keys to building a great team. Do you want to take over yet?
Sure. Thanks.
All right.
The
lovely leader, Jason Heinrich.
Oh, look out. Okay, so that's great. Thank you, Alex. What I love is you guys are all so talented and so great, and we have such great leadership. So thank you, Alex. And by the way, took a little while, but just so you guys know, save everybody. So I was just a little 1-minute blurb. This one moment that just happened is what can help all of us launch an extra 15 people this summer. extra 15 people could be an extra like 50 grand this summer in business and helping change a lot more lives. So with that, basically this girl had all these skepticisms, thought she had to buy a kit, just didn't think the job was for her. Comes in finally, talk her into it, showed her our Instagram, left her voicemail, tried to get her in, talked her into it to finally get to the office with grandma, who, by the way, has owned Cutco for like 30 years and loves it. By the way, this girl, yes, she owns Cutco and loves it. Mm-hmm. She's like, I just thought this was like one of those Amway or Herbalife things where you had to like, you know, buy in and start a business, and she thought she had to pay for a kit and all this stuff. So, yeah, I don't even.
She had a demo.
Anyway, so she's hired. She's ready to go. And this girl's going to Oshkosh for sales and marketing. Yeah. Are you like, come on. Like, that's why we save people, because they don't know anything until they come in. It was so great. Alex and Kaylee, they loved you. And they said they love how nice people were, how chill it was. It makes sense now. So this is why your friends need to get in here. They need to come in and talk to us so they get what it is and they start being impressed by you as opposed to teasing you for your knife job. So when they actually start, they're like, oh, wow, this takes some discipline. Man, you're really good. Anna, you're phenomenal, you know? So, okay. So keys to building a great team. So you guys know this. You guys know that on the newsletter it takes 2.5 to 1 of business for new business sales. Okay, let me try this again. For every rep on the newsletter that sells at least 1,000 new business, that's 2,500 new business for your team. So last week, what did we do? We crushed it. We're the number 1 office in new business in the region. Again, whoop-de-whoop, way to go. Guess who's over 1,000? Who's over 1,000 last week? Hayden was.
Anna, Aslan.
Yeah, who's new business? Aslan was. Who else?
Caesar was at TC.
Caesar. Anyone else? In new business?
I was.
Yeah, so Anna, you crushed it, but you're FSM. We stopped caring about you. Just kidding. All right. So,
I don't count anymore. That's rude.
So
Yeah,
there
that's
are 4
why you're we love you.
Mariah hit over 1,000. So those 4 people hit over 1,000. We did 8,400 new business. So we should have done 10 in new business if you think about it. It was skewed by a few top people. You know, Caesar crushing it with a couple homemakers. There we go.
Yeah, Caesar.
Boom. Meeting attendance, okay. But by the way, works out like every time, 2.5. So if you want to have, like this summer, is it possible for Vector Fox Valley to have $100,000 week? If it is, how many reps do we need on the newsletter? How many reps for the week do we need to have to sell at least 1,000 in order for us to have a $100,000 new business week? Well, divided by 2.5, what is that? 40 reps. So if we can have 40, by the way, one Cutco key, you need 40 reps on the team in order for 40 to be on the newsletter. All right, so you had to recruit a lot of people, right? But that's real important because then you can target those people. All right, meeting attendance. We went 75% meeting attendance. By the way, the meetings are not optional. This is their job. If they had a work scheduled event at Culver's tonight, I always use Culver's because I went there. So if you work from like I had this shift all the time, like 7 till 11. I'd go in for that night shift, work the last few hours, and clean up 7 till 11. Would I ever call my manager? Oh, yeah, sorry, John. You know what? I just don't really feel like coming. You know what, John? I have a lot of homework. You know, I have homework due tomorrow, so I'm not coming in tonight. He's like, what are you talking about? You're fired. So we want to get everyone to the team event, but no, it's okay to only get 3/4 of the people of the team. Some people have work. Some people have excuses. Some people are lazy and won't be there the following week. All right. PCs, every rep, every week. We need to get better at this. We've not been doing this very well. Every rep gets PC'd every week. That's why we need captains. That's why these are so important. I'm only one person, right? Liz is only one person. Lake's only one person. Lake can't PC 80 people, right, up in the Green Bay area. That's why he needs people to take on a mini teams. Like Harrison, you running a little mini team and you coaching your top 10 to 20 people. After Lake coaches his top 10 to 20 people, you have your own little mini branch. It's so cool. It's branch training and management training. And even for sure, if you want to run a branch, do you ever want to lead a team? Do you ever want to lead a family? Do you ever want to get really good at managing people? Do you think it's going to help you in your future work endeavors? Of course. So PC, every rep, every week. PDI, every rep, every day. Communication with them. Demos, if we can get 1 demo per rep on the team, That's huge. So maybe we have 20 people on the team right now, let's say, and let's say only half of them are working. Okay, well, how do we get those 10 to do 2 demos a day on that day? Because we want 1 demo per rep. That's actually good to average. So if you have 80 people on the team, how does your team average 80 reps on that day for that week? Okay, any questions on that? I know it's a lot of stuff, but this is really important to understand this because we're in the summer. It's going to be quick. It's going to be crazy. And what's so cool is the prep work that we are doing, the attention you guys are portraying, and the what you guys are learning is going to help you guys in this summer make so much more and influence so many more people. 5 keys to developing a great rep. Get consistent, right? You know, how, all right, where's Matthew? I don't know. So I can talk about it. I talk about him too, even if he was in the room. But Matthew was on 9 weeks in a row of K Club. Guess what happened? He missed it. So guess how consistent he's been since then. Perfect. Matthew, if you were on K Club this whole time, how much easier would it have been to sell 1,000 a week if you had kept your streak alive? Right? It would have been easy. He's like, well, I'm just going to, like these streaks. Some of these have that Snapchat streaks, right? Like whatever they are. It's so good to get in a habit. I'm in a habit right now of meditation in my Bible app for a streak. There's no way I'm missing that. Some days I feel like I'm going to miss it, or I'm like, I may forget. I don't, or make a reminder because I'm like, I can't lose my streak. So get them on a streak, get them in the newsletter. Mission 100. They should always have 100 names and numbers to call at all times, always. Constantly brainstorm more in a chicken list PC, and always focus on their next best 5. Who are their next best 5 people? By the way, when I'm teaching you guys how to manage reps, guess who's also a rep?
Us.
You. There's the you are a rep. So manage yourself, right? If you guys were showing your next best 5 every time, how big would your week be? Think about your list of your big list of recos and initial names list. Your top 5 people. If you showed to them this week, how much are you at least selling? Probably 3,000 if you're really good like Alex, right? I mean, you should probably, like if you completely mess up, probably 1,000. You should sell at least 2,000, right? By the way, 30%. I'm okay showing my best 5 people each week, selling $2,000 at 30% and making $600.
Sounds chill.
Sounds chill. Oh, you want to make $600? Sure. Do you have a day to work? Or can you spare 2 hours a day? Yeah, that's what Alex did. Yeah. Yeah, he worked a day, sold $2,000. So 5 before, 5 after is also important. That way they're always getting more demos. That's a key culture I try to promote it a lot, but I know in our office we could do better. Then appreciation, recognition. As you hear the managers, we're always finding things to recognize. Ideally, a great team meeting, which we'll talk about in the next call, is more about managing reps as a whole in teams, in functions, getting them to events, and helping them sell a lot. But it's all about getting them to the next event and recognizing everybody somehow. So that's a power of 5, right? Oh boy, what other documents we got? All right, what did we go over? Went over, Morgan, you did your first weekend PDI, right?
Yep.
All right.
I think she did all of PDI.
All PDI? Did you do all PDI too, the PDI call?
Yeah.
Yes. I love when builders run the call. My merchant self stops talking.
Oh wait, no.
I did metric.
Well, it was okay. The
What?
PDI call was up,
Yep.
but
gotta do
I
that.
went through the first weekend.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Did we do the PC? No.
No.
You guys have access to all these documents. Your assignment is to go look at these. Go look at these again. But
Jason,
yeah.
I would challenge them too. Not only is your assignment to go look at them, but our assignment is to have 3 takeaways from what we did not, like the papers we did not cover, and send them to your DM.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. I want 1 takeaway from each one of these documents. That's what we'll do. So each one. By the way, the PC, we still have like a few minutes. The PC is very important. If you want to know how to PC someone, by the way, a PC could be a 10-minute conversation with someone on the way to grabbing Subway. A PC could be a walk. It could be anything, but it's basically helping them feel better about the job, make more money, and get more appointments. So you guys can see You basically text some of their friends, talk about personal recruiting and the competition. You build rapport. By the way, each one of these can be condensed into like 1 minute each. You build rapport for a minute. Cool. You teach them for a minute. Cool. Work on a names list. That should take more than a minute. But work on a schedule breakdown. It's all there. And then they book 3 more. Like, this is perfect. Everything's perfect. All you guys got to do is print these off and look at these this summer, and you'll have them. And if you're in Liz's office, you already have them in a nice little cute binder. It's that. And then the
PC real quick, Jason. Guys, like, I've had conversations with a lot of you during PCs. That's the difference between making or breaking a rep. You may or may not realize how important a PC is. It could literally save somebody. Matthew, how many PCs have we had where you're like, I'm quitting, and then, you know, we finish it and you're like, oh, I love Vector. You know? Josh, same thing. Anna, same thing. Like, we've had, like, every single person, we're human, and the PC is really to kind of, that's where your job is, to build rapport, start building the rep. PDI is a check-in. Hey, how's it going? Cool. Let's get this. Let's motivate. The PC is where you dig in a little bit more. I would suggest, I mean, I don't know, this is what it's going to be for here. Every single week, every single rep has a PC. End of story. It doesn't matter. So that's my 2 cents.
100%. No, that's how it needs to be in every office. And know that with us, with Google Calendar, what you guys are going to be doing is you're going to be, and by some of you, we've had a good consistency with this. Some of you we haven't. But having it in the Google Calendar, it's in my calendar. It's also in your calendar, and it's shared. So we know every week at this time you're being PC'd. Not like, by the way, if you want to waste a lot of time, try to figure out timing for everyone's PC every week. No. So Morgan and I in our office are going to be making sure everybody has PCs with their captain, and every week, and then they're shared on it in their Google Calendars. That's very important. And in our PCs, just so we have a consistent schedule, we're going to make sure that they're making their calendars and they have it. So there's that. A little tip on a little brief overview of the PDI call. It is a check-in, like Liz said. Bring energy, bring passion. This could be on the car ride. It could be checking in on your way home. It could be between demos. By the way, a PC or PDI could be taken on the way to a demo during field training. But basically, a PDI call is you connect with them. Because, by the way, they feel guilty. Everything you feel, they feel also. You guys ever felt guilty to check in? You guys ever, like, seen my call to your phone? You're like, oh, crap. Right? Or gotten a text, right? Yes. Yep. You're like, oh, crap. What did I haven't done anything. Jason's going to be pissed. Liz is going to tear me a new one. Geez. So, it's important to know they feel the same way. We have to build them up. We're here to coach them. We're not here to be their mean boss. We're here to build them up. We're here to help them be their best selves. And they need to be constantly held accountable. You guys are the top people. You guys are here on the AM call. You guys are here about to run your own office. And you guys still need accountability. I still need accountability. We're human. That's life. All these things you learn in Vector are life skills. And then what's funny is you become better doing this. Guess what? You become a way better rep. You become a way better significant other. You become a way better leader. So anyway, PDI, you connect, you create excitement, you coordinate your schedule, and you create action. So the 4 C's right there. You guys can read it. We don't have time for that on this call. So assignments. Here. Assignments. Okay. Where are we at? I'm going to put them in the group me. So you guys have them. Hayden. Yes. Jeez.
Yeah, Hayden.
Jeez, you kids. Some of you, by the way, have to apologize. I haven't snapped, but there are a couple people, including Steve, where I kind of got a little tough on, because you guys are here to make our focus as managers better on the overall job. So as a manager, I want to focus on the highest priority, like you guys, the top people, the top leaders, right? The 20-80 rule. 20% of the team is going to do 80% of the work in most situations, like on a sports team, in a job, in Cutco. So realize I'm going to work with all the high-level planning, our top people, meeting events and that. And as captains, you guys are working with other reps also, and you guys are there to make our office run more smooth. And working with the masses of the team, so the managers can focus on the top people, the staff. All right. So I forgot I had a point there, but you guys are very important. Okay, assignment. Oh, so Hayden and others, don't be wasting time with these dumb questions that you guys can find the answers for. We got stuff to do. And this summer, we're going to be very annoyed. There's a question that you can find the answer to. And when you guys all listen to 1 Minute Manager, which is going to be a recommendation of what to do if you need a nice audiobook to listen to. The 1 Minute Manager is awesome, and it's very important. And that's where the one-page documents come from. You guys see a lot of. There's also a tip that the manager says how he manages time very well is anyone who has a problem or question, he goes, okay, give me 3 scenarios or 3 solutions to this. All right, which one would you pick and why? Come to me with that. 99% of the time, I'm going to probably going to agree with you. So just do it, right? So that's a little rant on that. Assignments. I'll put this in the group me, but I know like 99% of you are signed up for the boot camp. 99% of you are signed up for the virtual sales summit. Message 50 people a day, or Liz or Lake and I are going to show up at your doorstep and force you to do it until you bleed. Not really, but maybe. And then pick time to 3-way text. I know tomorrow, Hayden and myself and Morgan, a couple of us are planning on doing some 3-way texting. Kennedy, I think today we're going to start doing that. Alex, we have time on Friday. Basically, let's start that. That's really going to create a lot of buzz with your friends to help get them in for interviews before summer hits. Make the rest of the semester schedule. Again, most of you have already done that. And then finally, because I don't want you guys spending time watching videos, and you guys need to be recruiting, advertising, helping on campus and all that. So the next video in the playlist is just the chicken list PC. It's like a 10-minute one. It's really easy, really simple. So thanks for your attention. I know this wasn't the most exciting call, but it is a very important call of how to manage people and hold them accountable. Final reminder is we have a huge week next week about campuses. Come and learn. If you're an assistant, awesome. It's part of your job. If you're not a fishing assistant yet, you get Cutco bucks for helping out. And if you're in the area and want to make the time to be on film for thousands of reps that potentially work with us, between 12:30 and 1:30, we're recording some stuff around the office with a professional video. I'm having someone come in. So be there, be square. Thanks for your guys' time. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
Peace out.
Peace. See ya.
A-Town down.